Welcome to the Lagos Real Estate Insider Podcast, the number one podcast dedicated to helping you create wealth, investing in real estate, and live a world-class life while making a difference and impact in the lives of people. I am your host, Idris Ndagba. On this podcast, I share insight to the real estate market, advice and strategies for investing in real estate, and some of the latest real estate investment opportunities. I also share some motivation and inspiration for taking your life to the next level. Thanks for tuning into this episode, and let's dive in. Hello Insider Investors, it's Idris here, and welcome to another beautiful episode. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing 5 things that you need to know before buying a land. So whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast platform, make sure you subscribe. So let's dive in. Now, most of the time, there are a lot of mistakes that investors make before buying a land, and they don't realize it until after buying a land. So that's why I want to make this episode to help you make the best purchasing decision before buying a land. And these are the hard lessons that I put together from having conversation with most of our clients, and I hope this will help. So, number 1, location. Before buying a land, you need to know why you want to buy it. In real estate, location is everything. For example, if you want to buy land in Egbe or Ibeju-Lekki, why do you want to buy land in those areas? Because the purpose behind every investment is what makes it a good or bad investment. So, if you are buying a land for the purpose of residential, if you know that will help you decide the right location. And if you are buying a land for the purpose of investment, for the purpose of making return on investment, maybe you want to buy and keep in order to resell it later, you need to know the purpose behind why you are buying something. If you are buying for commercial purpose, for example, most of the estates in Ibeju-Lekki, since it will be a mega business center, there will be high demand for commercial properties, for example, offices and other mini production factories. So if you are buying a land for commercial purpose, you need to know the purpose behind why you are buying a land. Don't do things on accident. Be very intentional about your purpose. That's the first one. Second one is payment plan. If you are buying a land, ask for the payment plan. You need to know the payment plan. If you are buying outright, that's between 1 to 3 months with interest free, or if you want to buy on a payment plan. Now, there are some benefits attached to a payment plan, and let me quickly explain that. The first benefit is security. The purpose of payment plan is to secure your slot. It shows your commitment. You are getting the land at the current price. Even if there is interest, you are getting it at the current price. For example, if you are buying a land of 10 million naira with initial deposit of 1 million naira, let's say you are going for 6-month payment plan. Now, the advantage is if you make initial deposit of 1 million naira, you secure your plot, despite the fact that 2 years payment plan may end up to 11 million or 12 million naira. If the land appreciates even before you finish making payments, you are still paying the same amount. So when you buy early before the land appreciates, you will pay at the early price, not the appreciation price. To make this more clear, if you buy a land of 10 million naira and immediately you make an initial deposit, the land appreciates to 12 million naira. Now, the payment you are making is still 10 million naira. So plus the interest, everything may end up in 11 million naira. That's the first benefit of initial deposit. The second one is you don't have to stretch your finances or break the bank. If you know that you can't buy a land outright, with gradual payments, it makes you to be more committed. Gradually, month by month, time passes by so fast, you realize that you will complete your payments within short time. But if you're not committed or you procrastinate, chances are the money that you saved, you may end up using it for another purpose. Those are the two benefits attached to a payment plan. So before buying a land, you need to know whether you want to buy outright or you want to buy on a payment plan. The third thing that you need to know is documentation. This is what most real estate agents, realtors, and consultants don't tell you. After buying a land, most times, most of the payments that you make is for the land alone. Apart from the land, there are other charges. Usually, there are documentation fee and developmental fee. Now, what is a developmental fee? Think about this. When you live in an estate, a gatehouse is provided, premium fencing is provided, road network is provided, street lights, and other facilities. The developmental fee is what is used to cover all those facilities, plus the estate security that will be provided. Now, the developmental fee are usually determined by the developer. Some 5,000 naira per square meter. It depends on the location, the estate, and the developer. And why I'm revealing this is because most of the investors are not aware of it until after they buy land. They will now be telling them that you have other charges or other payments that you need to make. It is important you put this in mind or ask your realtor before buying a land. That's why whenever you want to buy from us, we inform you early before making a purchasing decision. So the other charges are deed of assignment and survey document. Now, what is a survey document? A survey document is a demarcation of the parcel of a land. Once you buy a land, it is an estate, very big. Your portion needs to be demarcated and allocated to you. Whereby deed of assignment is simply a land document that shows you are the owner of a land. There is also contract of sale. Contract of sale is simply an agreement between a buyer and a seller. When you buy a land in an estate, after making payment, a contract of sales letter will be sent to you stating that there is a transaction between you and the developer. So those are the hidden charges that you need to be aware of. You need to be aware of the developmental fee and the documentation fee, which is deed of assignment and survey documents. And the fourth thing that you need to know is allocation. After you buy a land, most times you think your land will be allocated to you instantly, but it is not done that way. Why? The estate is not made for only you, it is made for the masses. So the allocation is done in batches. And why it's usually delayed is because most people pay on payment plan, not on outright purchase. For example, most of the allocation are usually done in batches between 10, 20, or 30. And those people must make a complete payment for both the land and the documentation fee. So that's why allocation is usually delayed. Now, it is not all allocation that are usually delayed. There are some buy and build estates that once you finish making all payments, your land will be allocated to you to start building instantly. In that case, the developer are not much concerned about celebrating you for owning a land or making a big investment. They want you to get what you want instantly. So if you are buying a land for the purpose of building instantly, you have to find out, is it an estate that your land will be allocated to you instantly that you will start building, or you have to wait for a while. So that's another thing you need to be aware of. Now, for the sake of our audience in the US and the UK, you can buy a land in Nigeria while your documents can be sent to you. If you want to buy a land, if you watch any video or you see any of our videos and you like the estate, what you need to do is, once you contact us, there is a FAQ form. You can go through it. Everything is here. The name of the developer, location, office, the plan for the estate, the features, everything that you should expect is usually on the FAQ form. and below it there will be a subscription form where you can fill all your info and make payment. If you're a diaspora and you want to buy a land, what you need to do is you work with your realtor, and if you want to work with us, we're always available to help you. So when you work with your realtor, after making payment to the company's account, anytime the document is ready, allocation, deed of assignment, contract of sales, it can be sent to you through post office, FedEx, and many other services. So you don't have to be in Nigeria before buying a land in Nigeria. And the last thing that you need to know before buying a land is document title. Now, document title is very important. The most common one is certificate of occupancy. And what most people think is once a land does not have a certificate of occupancy, it is not genuine or it does not worth buying. And if you want to know more about different land title, in the first episode of the podcast, I shared 10 important land document titles that you need to know. So you can listen to the episode. I will link it down below. So you can buy a land without C of O title. And the reason is perfecting a land document takes time. For example, getting C of O is a long process. That's why most of the developers, after getting the register survey, and most of the register survey are free from government acquisition. For example, most of the estate in Epe has register survey title, while most of the estates in Ibeju-Lekki have government allocated C of O. So you need to know about the title, and most times people are too skeptical about other document title. What you need to know about land document title is, in future, will I need to prepare to perfect the land document title, or the developer will handle that for you? So that's the importance of paying attention to the land document title. If you're enjoying today's episode, here are 3 ways you can work with me, support me, and this podcast. Number 1, share this episode with a friend, family, co-worker, or a team who you think will find it valuable. If you share it with any of those people and they find it valuable, they will thank you later, being the source for sharing it with them, which strengthens your relationship and help you take your relationship to the next level. Number 2, refer me to a friend who need a property or a guidance for their real estate investment. If you know anyone who need a property or want to make an inquiry, or you need a property and you want to make an inquiry, don't hesitate to contact me on 070 44 08 68 68. Again, 070 44 08 68 68. Or you can email me at realestatewithidris@gmail.com. Again, realestatewithidris@gmail.com. And finally, number 3 is to help me rate this podcast on your listening platform. Whether you are listening on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, or any of your favorite platform, help me rate this podcast. And when you rate it and leave a review, it helps other people just like you discover the podcast as a very valuable podcast. Thanks for listening to today's episode, and I will talk to you in the next episode.